Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiriye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtaki. So continuing with the discussion on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 1, Genealogical Table of the Daughters of Manu, text number 7 onwards. Tosha Pratosha Santosho Bhadra Shantirdaspati Idma Kavir Vibhu Swannaha Sudevo Rochno Dushat. The 12 boys born of Yagya and Dakshina were named Tosha, Pratosha, Santosha, Bhadra, Shanti, Dashpati, Idma, Kavi, Vibhu, Swahana, Sudev, and Rocha. So, like we were studying yesterday, Swambhuva Manu and his wife Shatrupa, they asked Akuti and her husband Ruchi to give the son to Swambhuva Manu for him to raise. And the daughter was Dakshina, Yagya and Dakshina. And Yagya and Dakshina, they had 12 boys named here. Tushita nam te deva asan swayam bhuvantari marichi mishra rishev Yagya Suraganeshwara. During the time of Swambhuva Manu, these sons all became the demigods, collectively named the Tushitas. Marichi became the head of the 7 rishis, and Yagya became the king of the demigods, Indra. During the life of Swambhuva Manu, 6 kinds of living entities were generated from the demigods, known as the Tushitas, from the sages headed by Marichi and from descendants of Yagya, king of the demigods. And all of them expanded their progeny to observe the order of the Lord, to fill the universe with living entities. These 6 kinds of living entities are known as Manus, Devas, Manuputras, Anshavtaras, Sureshwaras, and Rishis. Yagya, being the incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, became the leader of the demigods, Indra. So that was in the time of Swambhuva Manu. So Yagya himself became Indra. Maybe they didn't find a qualified person to take the position of Indra. Also, see, here it is said, these sons all became the demigods, collectively named the Tushitas. Sometimes on these WhatsApp groups and on Facebook also, you must have seen that message that there are not 33 crore demigods. Like in scriptures it is said. They said Tetis Koti. It's not Koti, it doesn't mean crore. Well, Koti can mean category and Koti can also mean crore. It depends what we take. But Srila Prabhupada, he translated 33 crores. So there are demigods 33 crore. But those who say they're not 33 crore, they're 33 categories. So they give a different list of categories. But here Prabhupada or the shloka says demigods collectively named the Tushitas. So that is another set of demigods. In that list, this is not there. They just, I don't know, from somewhere they bring up the list and create confusion. So the point is, we should follow the scriptures, not just somebody said something, and once it became an issue in ISKCON class also. So somebody read that and he said, see, it should not be 33 crore. Why do we need 33 crore demigods? Doesn't matter why we need or not. It's Krishna who has set it up like this, and Prabhupada translated as 33 crore, means there are 33 crore demigods. End of discussion there. So universe is so huge, and every part of our body, every organ is controlled by one demigod or other, and every living entity is controlled by one demigod or other. There's so many demigods are required for proper functioning of the universe, and that's why uh, Swayambhuva Manu, he is a Prajapati, so he is producing demigods and taking progeny, and further on down, the progenies are being produced. This is for the whole universe. It's not just for one city or some place like that. It's the whole universe we are talking. So the point is, we should have full faith in the words of Srila Prabhupada. Whatever he has given is perfect. And not try to speculate on things. It is possible that we don't understand many things. That is okay. But we should not have doubts about what Prabhupada is writing. Priyavritto tanapado manuputro mahojasu tatputra potrin naptrinam anuvritam tadantaram. Swayambhuva Manu's two sons, Priyavrat and Uttanpad, became very powerful kings, and their sons and grandsons spread all over the three worlds during that period. Devahuti madhatata kardamayatmajam manu tatsambandhi shrutaprayam bhavata gadato mama. My dear son, Swayambhuva Manu handed over his very dear daughter Devahuti to Kardamuni. I have already spoken to you about them, and you have heard about them almost in full. So, previous cantos, so many chapters about Devahuti and Kardamuni. So, further on. Dakshaya Brahmaputraya Prasutim Bhagwan Manu Prayachadyat Krita Sargas Trilokyam Vitato Maha. Swayambhuva Manu handed over his daughter Prasuti to the son of Brahma named Daksha, who was also one of the progenitors of the living entities. Means he was a Prajapati Daksha. He is very famous because he had the daughter who was married to Lord Shiva, Sati. The descendants of Daksha are spread throughout the three worlds. Yaha kardam sutaha prokta nav brahmarshi patneya tasam prasuti prasavam prochimanam nibodame. You've already been informed about the 9 daughters of Kardamuni who were handed over to 9 different sages. I shall now describe the descendants of those 9 daughters. Please hear from me. So if you remember, Kardamuni first had 9 daughters from Devahuti, and then he was about to leave, taking care of all the 9 daughters. They were married to different sages. And then Devahuti said, well, I need a son who can protect me. Then Kardamuni and Devahuti had Lord Kapildev as a son. So 9 daughters are there. The third canto has already described how Kardamuni begot 9 daughters in Devahuti, and how all the daughters were later handed over to great sages like Marichi, Atri, and Vashishta. Patni Marichestu Kala Sushuve Kardamatmaja Kashyapam Purni Manam Cha Yayora Puritam Jagat. Kardamuni's daughter Kala, who was married to Marichi, gave birth to 2 children whose names were Kashyap and Purnima. Their descendants are spread all over the world. So, see, one thing we have to understand is Srimad Bhagavatam, the stories, they're not in any chronological order that this thing happened first and this. Because here it is said that Kala married Marichi, and they had this 2 children, Kashyap and Purnima. So we have already heard Kashyap Muni married Diti and Aditi, and from Diti 2 sons were born, who were Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha. So, and the killing of Hiranyaksha has already been described, killing of Hiranyaksha by Lord Varahadev. So it's not in any chronological order. So we just have to just enjoy whatever Bhagavatam is, whichever way it is flowing. Purnima Sota Virajam Vishwagam Cha Parantapa Devakulyam Hare Pada Shocha Dya Bhuta Saridhiva. My dear Vidura, of the two sons Kashyap and Purnima begot three children, namely Viraja, Vishwak, and Devakulya. Of these three, Devakulya was a water which washed the lotus feet of the personality of Godhead, and which later on transformed into the Ganges of the heavenly planets. Of the two sons, Kashyap and Purnima, herein Purnima's descendants are described. An elaborate description of these descendants will be given in the 6th canto. It is also understood herein that Devakulya is a presiding deity of the river Ganges, which comes down from the heavenly planets to this planet and is accepted to be sanctified because it touched the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari. So Devakulya personification is personification of river Ganges, and who's the daughter of Purnima. And Purnima was married to, okay, it's not mentioned who was Purnima married to. Well, maybe later on it will come into picture. Atre patni anasuya trijagye suyashasa sutam dattam durvasasam somam atmesh brahma sambhavan. Anasuya, the wife of Atri Muni, gave birth to three very famous sons, Soma, Dattatreya, and Durvasa, who were partial representations of Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva, and Lord Brahma. Soma was a partial representation of Lord Brahma, Dattatreya was partial representation of Lord Vishnu, and Durvasa was a partial representation of Lord Shiva. In this verse, we find the words Atma, Isha, Brahma, Sambhavan. Atma means the super soul of Vishnu. Isha means Lord Shiva, and Brahma means the four-headed Lord Brahma. The three sons born of Anasuya, Dattatreya, Durvasa, and Soma were born as partial representations of these three demigods. Atma is not in the category of the demigods or living entities because he is Vishnu. Therefore, he is described as Vibhinnansha Bhutana. The super soul Vishnu is a seed-giving father of all living entities, including Brahma and Lord Shiva. Another meaning of the word Atma may be accepted in this way. The principle who is a super soul in every Atma, or one may say the soul of everyone, became manifested as Dattatreya because the word Ansha, part and parcel, is used here. So Dattatreya is representation of Lord Vishnu. So Prabhupada further speaks, in Bhagavad Gita, the individual souls are also described as parts of the Supreme Personality of Godhead or Super Soul. So why not accept that Dattatreya was one of those parts? Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma are also described here as parts. So why not accept all of them as ordinary individual souls? So the shloka is given in a different way. Atma Esha Brahma Sambhavan. In the Varaha, the answer is that the manifestations of Vishnu and those of the ordinary living entities are certainly all parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord, and no one is equal to him. But among the parts and parcels, there are different categories. In the Varaha Puran, it is nicely explained that some of the parts are Swansha and some are Vibhinansha. Vibhinanshas are called Jivas, and Swansha parts are in the Vishnu category. In the Jiva category, the Vibhinansha parts and parcels, there are also gradations that is explained in the Vishnu Puran, where it is clearly stated that the individual parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord are subject to being covered by the external energy called illusion or Maya. Such individual parts and parcels who can travel to any part of the Lord's creation are called Sarvagata and are suffering the pangs of material existence. They are proportionately freed from the coverings of ignorance and the material existence according to the different levels of work and under different influences of the modes of material nature. So Prabhupada is making sure that we understand what's the position of Dattatreya and Soma and Durvasa. Soma is representation of Lord Brahma and Durvasa of Lord Shiva, but Dattatreya is of Lord Vishnu. And Dattatreya, it comes in as a Shaktavesh avatar. He's not part of Jiva souls or Vibhin Ansha, ordinary living entity. He's expansion of Lord Vishnu himself. So Vishnu Swansha expansions of the Supreme Lord in different Vishnu forms are like lamps. Lord Shiva is also like a lamp. And the Supreme Candle Power or the 100% light is Krishna. The Vishnu Tattva has 94%, the Shiv Tattva has 84%. Lord Brahma has 78%, and the living entities are also like Brahma. But in the conditioned state, their power is still more dim. There are gradations of Brahman, and no one can deny this fact. So we come under Vibhinansha category, the Jiva Tattva. So this is what Prabhupada is explaining. The Vishnu Tattva, 100% light of power is in Krishna. Vishnu Tattva says 94%. Now if we calculate it with the qualities, so Krishna has 64 qualities. So Vishnu Tattva, they have 60 qualities. So 60 qualities comes out to 94%. And then Lord Shiva, here it is said 84%, and that comes out to 55 qualities. Not all 64, not 60, 55. And then Lord Brahma, it says 78%, that comes down to 50 qualities. 50 qualities that are in Krishna, but not even to that extent. I mean, the percentage of those qualities are still lower. And that is a gradation that Prabhupada is talking about. In us, Jiva Tattvas, we also have those 50 qualities, like Lord Brahma has. We are never going to have 55 like Lord Shiva has, and definitely not like Lord Vishnu, who has 60 qualities. Our perfection is to reach that level 50 qualities and to the best possible percentage of those 50 qualities. So that is where the gradation is. So every jiva has different percentage of those 50 qualities. Depends whatever he has worked upon, and by the mercy of Krishna, whatever qualities he has developed. Therefore, the words Anshena Brahma Sambhavan indicate that Dattatreya was directly part and parcel of Vishnu, whereas Durvasa and Soma were parts and parcels of Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma. Text 16. Viduruvacha Atrair Grihe Surushrishta Sthiti Utpatti Anta Hetavaha Kinchi Chikir Shavo Jata Etad Akhyahi Me Guru. After hearing this, Vidura inquired from Maitreya, "My dear master, how is it that the three deities, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, who are the creator, maintainer, and destroyer of the whole creation, became the offspring of the wife of Atri Muni?" So he had this curiosity. How come three of them became the sons? The inquisitiveness of Vidura was quite fitting, for he understood that when the Supersoul, Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, all appeared through the person of Anasuya, the wife of Atri Muni, there must have been some great purpose. Otherwise, why should they have appeared in such a way? Maitreya Vacha, Brahmana Chaudita Srishta Tri Brahma Vidambaraha Sahat Patanya Yaya Vriksham Kuladrim Tapsi Sthitaha. Maitreya said, When Lord Brahma ordered Atri Muni to create generations, after marrying Anasuya, Atri Muni and his wife went to perform severe austerities in the valley of the mountain known as Riksha. See, at that time they understood, like Atri Muni and Anasuya, Lord Brahma is ordering them to have the creation, procreation. So they went, first what did they do? They went to perform austerities. It's because they understood that the process of procreation is very serious, very pure process. And for that, a person has to be pure. Although Mother Anasuya and Atri Muni, they themselves are very pure, but still they wanted to perform austerities to be in the right frame of mind for the next progeny to come in. So that's why Garbhadan Sanskar is important. And if right now, if we cannot do that, then Prabhupada has given that some relaxation to chant 50 rounds, both husband and wife, before uniting to have procreation. Tasmin prasunas tad bakapal shasho kanane varbhi sravad bhir udgushte nirvindhyaya samantataha. In that mountain valley flows a river named Nirvindhya. On the bank of the river are many Ashoka trees and other plants full of palash flowers, and there is always a sweet sound of water flowing from the waterfall. The husband and wife reached that beautiful place. Pranayamena samyamya manovarsha shatam muni atishtha padena nirdvandvo anilabhojana. There the great sage concentrated his mind by the yogic breathing exercises and thereby controlling all attachment. He remained standing on one leg only, eating nothing but air, and stood there on one leg for 100 years. So such a long tapasya. Sharnam tam prapadde aham yayav jagadishvaraha prajam atma samamayam prayachat viti chintayan. He was thinking, may the Lord of the universe, of whom I have taken shelter, kindly be pleased to offer me a son exactly like him. So Prabhupada explains, it appears that the great sage Atri Muni had no specific idea of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because he says, may the Lord of the universe, whoever it is, he doesn't know who it is. Of course, he must have been conversant with the Vedic information that there is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the creator of the universe, from whom everything emanated, and who maintains this created manifestation, and in whom the entire manifestation is conserved after dissolution. Yato va imani bhutani. The Vedic mantras give us information on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Atri Muni concentrated his mind upon that Supreme Personality of Godhead, even without knowing his name, just to beg from him a child exactly on his level. This kind of devotional service in which the knowledge of God's name is lacking is also described in Bhagavad Gita, where the Lord says that 4 kinds of men with background of pious activities come to him asking for what they need. Atri Muni wanted a son exactly like the Lord, and therefore he is not supposed to have been a pure devotee, because he had a desire to be fulfilled, and that desire was material. See the little twist here? He wanted a son exactly to be like Jagadishvara. First of all, he didn't know who's the Jagadishvara, who's the Lord of the universe. And then he didn't ask the Lord of the universe to become his son. See some loophole there. He has a son exactly like Jagadishvara. So Prabhupada says, that's why he cannot be considered a pure devotee. First of all, he had material desire. He didn't want Supreme Lord to be his son. This was the prayer of Devaki and Vasudeva, when they were performing tapasya, to have the Lord as a son. And then the Lord appeared. He said, okay, 3 times I'll appear as your son. So little loophole is there. So little different. Although he wanted a son exactly like the Supreme Personality of Godhead, this desire was material because he did not want the personality of Godhead himself, but only a child exactly like him. If he had desired the Supreme Personality of Godhead as his child, he would have been completely free of material desires because he would have wanted the Supreme Absolute Truth. But because he wanted a similar child, his desire was material. Thus, Atri Muni cannot be counted among the pure devotees. But anyway, he desired according to his level of consciousness, which is not wrong either, but it's not the best. Tapyamanam tribhuvanam pranayamad sagnina nirgatena munera murthan samiksha prabhavastriyaha. When Atri Muni was engaged in these severe austerities, the blazing fire came out of his head by virtue of his breathing exercise, and that fire was seen by the 3 principal deities of the 3 worlds. So he, because of his severe austerities, he achieved this perfection of yoga or tapasya, and then the blazing fire came out of his head. According to Srila Jiva Goswami, the fire of pranayama is mental satisfaction. That fire was perceived by the Supersoul Vishnu, and thereby Lord Brahma and Shiva also perceived it. Atri Muni, by his breathing exercise, concentrated on the Supersoul, or the Lord of the universe. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord of the universe is Vasudeva, Vasudeva Sarvamiti. And by the direction of Vasudeva, Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva work. Therefore, on the direction of Vasudeva, both Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva perceived the severe penance adopted by Atri Muni, and thus they were pleased to come down as stated in the next verse. So all 3 of them appeared. Apsaro Muni Gandharva Siddha Vidyadhara Rurga Vitaya Mane Yashas Tad Ashram Padam Yayu. At that time, the 3 deities approached the hermitage of Atri Muni, accompanied by the denizens of the heavenly planets, such as the celestial beauties, the Gandharvas, the Siddhas, the Vidyadhars, and the Naras. See, some more demigods are mentioned here. Thus they entered the ashram of the great sage who had become famous by his austerities. It is advised in the Vedic literature that one should take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the Lord of the universe and the Master of creation, maintenance, and dissolution. He is known as a Supersoul, and when one worships a Supersoul, all other deities such as Lord Brahma and Shiva appear with Lord Vishnu because they are directed by the Supersoul. So just imagine his hermitage, all of a sudden, everybody just came over there. Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, and then the Gandharva, Siddhas, Vidyadhar, Nag, everybody is coming there. All the heavenly people are coming to the ashram of Atri Muni. Tat pradur bhav samyoga vidyotit manamuni uttishthanneka padena dadarsha vibuddharsha mahabhan. The sage was standing on one leg, as it is mentioned. Previously, he was doing tapasya, was standing on one leg. But as soon as he saw that the 3 deities had appeared before him, he was so pleased to see them all together that despite great difficulty, he approached them on one leg. So probably he forgot he had other leg because he was standing on one leg for 100 years. So probably he forgot. So he just hopped on one leg and he approached the 3 deities and he paid obeisances. Pranamya Dandvad Bhuma Upatasthe Arahanjali Vrishhansa Suparnasthana Swash Chinash Chinhitan. Thereafter he began to offer prayers to the three deities who were seated on different carriers, a bull, a swan, and Garuda, and who held in their hands a drum, kushagrass, and a discus, or Sudarshan Chakra. The sage offered them his respects by falling down like a stick. Dandat Pranam. Danda means a long rod and Vat means like. Therefore, before a superior, one has to fall down on the ground, just like a stick. And this sort of offering of respects is called Danvat. Atri Rishi offered his respect to the three deities in that way. They were identified by the different carriers and different symbolic representations. In that connection, it is stated here that Lord Vishnu was sitting on Garuda, a big aquiline bird, and was carrying in his hand a disc. Brahma was sitting on a swan, and in his hand was kushagrass, and Lord Shiva was sitting on a bull and carrying in his hand a small drum called Damaru. So Atri Rishi recognized them by their symbolic representations and different carriers, and thus he offered them prayers and respects. Text 25. Kripavalokena hasadvadane no pallambitan tardrochisha pratihate nimilya muni rakshini. Atri Muni was greatly pleased to see that the three devas were gracious towards him. His eyes were dazzled by the effulgence of their bodies, and therefore he closed his eyes for the time being. Since the deities were smiling, he could understand that they were pleased with him. Thus, their glaring bodily effulgence was intolerable to his eyes, so he closed them for the time being. And he's offering prayers. Text 26-27. Chetas tat pravanam yunjannastavit samhatanjali shlakshanaya suktya vacha sarvaloka gariyasa atiriruvacha vishwadbhava sthititaleshu vibhajyamana maya guneranuyugam vigrihita deha te brahma vishnu girisha pranato asmi ahambas tebhyaka eva bhavatam ihopahutaha. But since his heart was already attracted by the deities, somehow or other he gathered his senses. And with folded hands and sweet words, he began to offer prayers to the predominating deities of the universe. The great sage Atri said, O Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, and Lord Shiva, you have divided yourself into three bodies by accepting the three modes of material nature, as you do in every millennium for the creation, maintenance, and dissolution of the cosmic manifestation. I offer my respectful obeisances unto all of you and beg to inquire whom of you three I have called by my prayer. See, Atri Muni called for Jagdishvara, Lord of the universe. So he still doesn't know whom did he call. How come all three of them appeared? Atri Rishi called for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Jagadishvara, the Lord of the universe. The Lord must exist before the creation, otherwise how could he be its Lord? If someone constructs a big building, this indicates that he must have existed before the building was constructed. Therefore, the Supreme Lord, the creator of the universe, must be transcendental to the material modes of nature. But it is known that Vishnu takes charge of the mode of goodness, Brahma takes charge of the mode of passion, and Lord Shiva takes charge of the mode of ignorance. Therefore, Atri Muni said that Jagadishvara, the Lord of the universe, must be one of you, but since three of you have appeared, I cannot recognize whom I have called. You are all so kind, so please let me know who is actually Jagadishvara, the Lord of the universe. In fact, Atri Rishi was doubtful about the constitutional position of the Supreme Lord Vishnu, but he was quite certain that the Lord of the universe cannot be one of the creatures created by Maya. His very inquiry about whom he had called indicates that he was in doubt about the constitutional position of the Lord. Therefore, he prayed to all three Kindly let me know who is the Supreme Lord of who is the Transcendental Lord of the universe. He was certain, of course, that not all of them could be the Lord. But the Lord of the universe was one of the three. Eko maye Bhagwan vivid pradhana chitti kritaha prajananaye katham yuyam atra gatas tanu vritam manaso api duran brut prasidat mahan iha vismayo me. I called for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, desiring a son like him, and I thought of him only. But although he is far beyond the mental speculation of man, all three of you have come here. All three of you have come here. Kindly let me know how you have come, for I am greatly bewildered about this. So he is still confused. How come three of them appeared? Atri Muni was confidently aware that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the Lord of the universe. So he prayed for the one Supreme Lord. He was surprised, therefore, that three of them appeared. So all three of them can actually be considered as Lord of the universe in different ways. Maitreya Vacha. Iti tasya vachah shrutva triyaste vibudharshibha pratyahu shlakshane avacha prahasya tamrishim prabhu. The great sage Maitreya continued. Upon hearing Atri Muni speak in that way, the three great deities smiled and they replied in the following sweet words. Devahuti yatha kritaste sankalpo bhavyam tena nanyatha sat sankalpasya te brahman yadvedhyayati te vayam. The three deities told Atri Muni, Dear Brahman, you are perfect in your determination, and therefore, as you have decided, so it will happen. It will not happen otherwise. We are all the same person upon whom you were meditating, and therefore we have all come to you. Atri Muni unspecifically thought of the personality of Godhead, the Lord of the universe, although he had no clear idea of the Lord of the universe, nor of his specific form. Mahavishnu, from whose breathing millions of universes emanate and into whom they are again withdrawn, may be accepted as the Lord of the universe. Garbhodaksha Vishnu, from whose abdomen sprouted the lotus flower, which is the birthplace of Brahma, may also be considered the Lord of the universe. Similarly, Kshirodaksha Vishnu, who is the super soul of all living entities, may also be considered the Lord of the universe. Then, under the order of Kshirodaksha Vishnu, the Vishnu form within the universe, Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, may also be accepted as the Lords of the universe. So it's not like they wanted to play with the Three Muni and confuse him. They all three could be considered as Lord of the universe. Vishnu is the Lord of the universe because he is its maintainer. Similarly, Brahma creates the different planetary systems and the population. So he also may be considered the Lord of the universe. Or Lord Shiva, who is ultimately the destroyer of the universe, also may be considered as Lord of the universe. Therefore, since Atri Muni did not specifically mention whom he wanted, all three, Brahma, Vishnu, and Lord Shiva, came before him. They said, since you are thinking of having a son exactly like the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Lord of the universe, your determination will be fulfilled. In other words, one's determination is fulfilled according to the strength of one's devotion. Very nice statement. One's determination is fulfilled according to the strength of one's devotion. So Krishna sees how strong our bhakti is, how determined are we, how purified we are. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Yanti Deva Vrita Deva, if one is attached to a particular demigod, one is promoted to the abode of that demigod. If one is attached to the Pitas or forefathers, one is promoted to their planet. And similarly, if one is attached to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, one is promoted to the abode of Lord Krishna. Atri Muni had no clear conception of the Lord of the universe. Therefore, the three presiding deities were actually the lords of the universe in three different departments of the modes of nature, all came before him. Now, according to the strength of his determination for his son, his desire would be fulfilled by the grace of the Lord. Athasmad ansh bhutaste atmajalok vishruta bhavita rong vadramte visrapsyanti chate yashaha. You will have sons who will represent a partial manifestation of our potency, and because we desire all good fortune for you, those sons will glorify your reputation throughout the world. Evam kama varam dattva prati jagmu sureshvaraha sabhajitastayo samyad dampatyoram ishatostataha. Thus, while the couple looked on, couple means Atri Muni and Anasuya, the three deities, Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara, disappeared from that place after bestowing upon Atri Muni the benediction. Somo abud brahmano anshena datto Vishnostu yogavit durvasah shankarasya anshanshu nivodhangi rasaha rajaha. Thereafter, from the partial representation of Brahma, the moon god was born of them. From the partial representation of Vishnu, the great mystic Dattatreya was born. And from the partial representation of Shankar, Lord Shiva, Durvasa was born. Now you may hear from me of the many sons of Angira. So many other sons and progeny of different rishis and different sons and daughters of Swambhuva Manu, and then their sons and daughters. This is all mentioned in this chapter. So tomorrow there'll be a question paper, test paper, and I'll ask all these questions. Who was born from whom? So you have to memorize who was the son and who was the daughter of whom. Nah, just kidding. So we'll stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, this was one question which was lingering for a long time. From text 30, where all the three, Lord Vishnu, Brahma, and Mahesh, all three talks about that they are the same person, right? And so now there, at times, like the person who thinks in layman term, like who is very new or become a devotee, very new to this devotional services, he might be confused, saying that who is superior? Is it Lord Vishnu or Krishna or Shiva? Because Shiv Bhakt says Shiva is the, like my mother, she's a big time Shiv Bhakt, and she said like everything is from Shiva. But she also mentioned that in as per Mahabharata, the Virat Roop which Krishna showed, it's all within one. No one is different. So can we say like it's like several places you mentioned that like it's all servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, like Shiva, Brahma, and they are doing fulfilling their duties in this universe. But here in text 30, it states that all are same. It's one person. So can we say it's just a different face of the same Supreme Personality of Godhead?
No, but Prabhupada did explain before that who has how many qualities. Krishna
Yeah.
has 100% and Vishnu Tattva has 94, Lord Shiva has 84, Brahma has 78.
Yes, Prabhuji, I recall that.
So they are not all the same.
Hmm. But then, Prabhuji, this question appears and when Lord Trimuni wants to see Supreme Personality of Godhead, all three appears, Brahma, Vishnu, and Lord Shiva.
Yeah, because in different ways they are all lords, because Vishnuji is Lord of the mode of goodness, Brahmaji is Lord of passion, and Shivji is Lord of mode of ignorance. So technically they can be considered the Lord of the universe in their own way. Of course, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is a real Lord. But since Atri Muni, somehow he didn't specifically pray it to Krishna or Vishnu. So that's why this, of course, it's all part of his Leela, Krishna's Leela, because he wanted Dattatreya, Durvasa, and Soma, all three of them to appear. And all of them have different roles to play in the pastimes further on.
And Prabhuji, one very nice thing you mentioned about, we like those 33 crores uh, deities, they require to, lead this universe or maintain this universe, because it just not cannot happen by one particular deity or, one lord. So everybody has a different task. Each deity has a different task to do it. So that's very nicely said.
Yeah, and that is why uh, because previously we were studying how we have to have the qualification to understand Vedic literature. So that is why when the Western philosophers or the thinkers or whatever, scholars, they try to study the Vedic scripture, they say, so Hinduism means polytheism, many gods. But no, actually it's not many gods, they are demigods. God is one, that is Krishna or Vishnu, we can say. For a given universe, consider Vishnu. But rest are demigods. So Hinduism is monotheism. But there are similar demigods are there, and they have different role to play in a different in a given universe. So now it depends upon our consciousness how far we go. That's why it's mentioned here also in Prabhupada's one of the purpose. Yanti Deva Vrita Devan. So those who want to go to the planet of demigods, they worship them, they go there. But those who want to come to me, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, they worship me and they come to me. So
And
Hinduism or Sanatana Dharma is not about polytheism, that there are many gods. No, there are not many gods. God is only one. There are many demigods. Sure, okay, understand.
And Prabhuji, one more question I have from like the people. I haven't read Shiv Puran, but then as per Shiv Puran, it stated that, if maybe I'm wrong, because I haven't read, but I've heard it from someone, that that the Shivling appeared, which has no, it's infinite. There was no ends of it from top to bottom, and then that time Lord Vishnu and Lord Brahma was, just fighting about who is superior. And then you have also mentioned about this story that one went up to see what is the limit of that Shivling, that particular structure, Shivlinga structure, and one went down, and then Brahma lied for saying that some flower is there on the top of it, but it was not. It was infinite, and then for which Lord Shiva was very angry because he lied. And so is that so? As per Shiv Puran, it says that Shiva is everything. He was a Janma, and then he is the main supreme personality of Godhead. So it creates confusion there also, because there's one Shiv Puran and then one is Vishnu Puran. And in Vishnu Puran, Vishnu is the supreme personality of Godhead.
So if you read Durga Puran, Devi Puran, it will say Durga is the supreme.
Yeah, absolutely.
So even the Puranas, it is mentioned by Prabhupada somewhere that there are 18 Puranas, and all 6 Puranas for people in mode of goodness, 6 for people in passion, 6 for people in mode of ignorance. So now every Purana has some stories which are basically to take their follower gradually upwards, let them make progress slowly, slowly, slowly. Everybody cannot come to the level of Srimad Bhagavatam. This is also considered a Purana, but this is Amala Purana. That's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said. There is nothing wrong if you follow it. Srimad Bhagavatam, and it takes us all the way to devotion service. It only talks about devotion service. But if somebody is a follower of Lord Shiva and his heart is connected with Lord Shiva, so he reads Shiva Purana, he considers, okay, in Shiva Purana it is mentioned, Lord Shiva is the supreme, I should worship him properly. So worship him. Who's saying no?
After all,
But slowly, I'm sorry, but slowly, by mercy of Lord Shiva, he can make progress towards worship of Vishnu. But that desire has to develop in the heart of that worshipper. And that desire comes by the mercy of the devotees of Krishna. It may take some time, some lifetimes, but that's okay.
hmm. And after all, Prabhuji, like if we worship a little, like chanting also a couple of rounds for like I've taken a diksha for Shivji and like my
Mhm.
Jagadguru Shankaracharya, which is like the whole family has taken it. So when I met my mother, she said, okay, you are chanting Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, which is a Maha Mantra, which is so good that you are doing, but don't do a Guru Dro. I mean, what do you call that? Guru Dro by whatever the Guru Diksha you have got, just chant those 2 rounds. I mean, that's just 3 words or 4 words are there, and then proceed with your Maha Mantra. This will actually, I think she gave me a very good logic saying that, when you chant Hari Bhakti, he gives you devotion. I mean, he gives you devotion, but takes away all your wealth and everything so that like you become more a big superior devotee. But then in material world, when you are here, you require wealth also to survive. So you should chant 1 or 2 rounds initially to Lord Shiva, so that because he's a Bhole Bhandari, so he'll give you wealth, and then you'll also get Krishna Bhakti as well. So she gave me this logic.
Which is fine. I'm not. Why should you stop worshipping Lord Shiva? There's no need to. If you're chanting Om Namo Shivaya, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's perfectly fine. It's just Lord Shiva himself has brought you to worship of Krishna. So take that up seriously. And it's not that Krishna is going to take away everything of everybody. He takes away everything of those who are not surrendering to him. If material opulence is an obstacle, so he has to remove the obstacles. That's all. And that's what he does, so that we surrender to him properly. So we can make progress fast. And Lord Shiva also, at the same time, although he does give all these material benefits, um, but he cannot go above Krishna. Just like in the story of Ravan, when Ravan had to have the final battle with Lord Ram next day, so that evening he goes to Kailash and he worships Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is pleased with Ravan anyway. He had done so much of tapasya before, and Lord Shiva had given him benedictions. So Ravan says that tomorrow is my final battle with Ram, and you had given me benediction that you will protect me. So come, fight on my behalf against Ram and protect me. So Lord Shiva said, yes, I had given you benediction that I'll protect you, but I never said I'll fight on your behalf against Ram. Then Ravan was confused, then how are you going to protect me? Then Lord Shiva said, well, you have only one option left. You go take Sita back to Ram, give her back and take shelter of lotus feet of Lord Ram, and you will be protected. Right now, nobody can protect you, not even me. He's my Lord. So this is not to put down the position of Lord Shiva. Ultimately he's a Vaishnava Nam Yatha Shambhu. He's a topmost Vaishnava. He's a wonderful devotee and great personality. cannot even imagine his personal. I mean, we studied some part of him from Kardama Muni or Kashyap Muni. I talked about Lord Shiva. Kashyap Muni I talked. So we'll study more later on when this Daksha story comes. Wonderful, wonderful, great personality. But Krishna is still Krishna. That's all.
Prabhuji, thank you so much. You clear the hairs so very well that like sometimes we get confused, entangled, and keep on looking at the answers. But like in few words, you explain everything so well. Thank you once again. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Hare Krishna. We cannot hear you.
Prabhuji, maybe I have missed it in one of the classes. I just wanted to understand, like, what is the role of these dakshas? I mean, we have 12 dakshas, as you said, but what are their roles specifically? Now we are reading about Swayambhuva Manu and others. So, what is their role exactly? Like after progeny, what have they done? I mean, if you can just share,
Then
because even because
they
I'm watching yeah, Prabhuji.
they are different kings, so they rule different planets.
So in
The
terms of Prabhuji, their contribution to bhakti or anything is not stated anywhere. Like they
contribution
all are
to what?
devotees of the Lord, like bhakti. Because we
Yeah,
only hear about their
yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, because we hear about like now we are reading about Swayambhuva Manu. So even about Bhishma Pitama, what we only have read in Mahabharata only about his role and this thing, but in terms of their bhakti, there is nothing written or what it is. I was just thinking.
Oh no! I mean, this is what is mentioned here in Bhagavatam is just part of their duties or services. And rest of the day, they must be doing some other services. But that is not mentioned because otherwise it will become such a huge granth, huge scripture. So just part of it is mentioned here. Like if you on why these, if you talk about Pandavas, what were they doing on the rest of the day when they were not fighting or doing something else that I mentioned? So they were performing their whether it is meditation or worship of the deities or whatever they were doing. Taking care of the kingdom.
Okay, Prabhuji, thank you.
Yes, okay. Okay. Okay, so we'll stop here. You all have a wonderful and safe day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna,
Thank you,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Thank